Hello, and welcome to this next installment of our signature solution, our desired transformation for all of our students here at Zera. My name is Kyle Schaefer, and since 2017, I have been running and working with talented instructors and families doing in-home music lessons all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And from the start, our mission has been to develop musical freedom in all of our students through these in-home music lessons that we hope inspires a love of learning in all aspects of a student's life. And so this transformation that we will be harping on today and for the next couple installments is right here. And today is step 4, kind of in our sequence here. We have already talked through our discover phase, where we discussed being safe and seen, what that looks like, what does that mean. Then we talked about how we can balance both structure and fun in our lessons. And then we talked about the importance of learning the language of music. And that was kind of all on our discover phase. Next, we kind of turn and shift gears to this developmental phase. And today, we are talking about growing on stage. Like I said, this is our step 4 in our signature solution. And this is really the moment where students move from feeling fearful of performing to becoming confident performers who can share their music with joy. And so you might be wondering why this is such an important part of our signature solution. The big idea is this: performance is how students learn to express what they have been learning. Playing for others actually encourages and builds courage. It also builds identity and the ability to communicate, which are skills that are much more far-reaching than just music. This is the first major milestone in the developmental phase. And this is the stage where students begin stepping into who they are becoming. The reality is that I would say about 80 to 90% of our students come in petrified of performing. Like usually 80 to 90% of students, whenever we are starting to talk about preparing for a recital, 80 to 90% of our students will say, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. Oh, I can't that day. The reality is that fear is completely normal. Even the most professional and experienced performers also feel scared, but it's just about what we do with that fear that is important in this life. And so our goal as a company is never to force students onto the stage to perform, but really just to lovingly guide them from fear to confidence. And so here's our secret sauce, if you will, of how we prepare all of our students. We give a 2-month runway for every recital. We start by picking songs, tentative recital songs, like 2 months, at least 2 months, 6 to 8 weeks before each recital. And we kind of equip our instructors to say, hey, you're going to take the first 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 2 to 10 minutes of a lesson, really diving deeper into 2 songs. Because we really believe that this is where deeper emphasis on musicality and dynamics come into play. But even when we're starting to pick these 2 songs, we want them to choose a piece that fits not only their skill level, but I would say their personality. More often than not, it usually does relate to maybe just a brand new piece that they have just started working on that we know over the next two months will be doable as far as performing. But over those next 2 months, we start working on transitions and just the etiquette of a recital when it comes to posture and bowing. And then, like I mentioned earlier, expression and musicality. All these details that we will work on in our lessons before a recital really help to build confidence. And so not only do all of those things kind of matter, but also little things like how to walk up front and introduce yourself, how to acknowledge the audience, how to handle mistakes, how to recover when you make those train wrecks in the middle of a performance. Those things happen. How to recover and finish strong. Really, the purpose behind this prep is this. These aren't just musical skills that we're developing and teaching. We really hope that these skills are tools that will last a lifetime. And so the last part of this is the heart of what our desire is in getting our students to perform, is that we want students to understand why they're performing. This isn't just to impress. This isn't to be perfect, but to share something meaningful that they are working on, something that they've spent a couple months working on. We really do believe that purposeful performance builds confidence that lasts long after that final applause, when they're getting their little certificate and they're running outside to get their cupcakes and take pictures with their instructors. We really believe that that these performances, these performing opportunities, really give legs to the transformation that we see in our students. We have watched shy and adamantly, students that are adamantly opposed to performing really step in and see the benefits of this really pay off. They leave the stage smiling and proud and taller than when they walked up. We really do believe that moments like this are life changing. That's when students can realize I can do hard things. Like, hard things are not bad. Hard things are formative. And so, if I were to tie this all back to our mission statement, we just believe that growing on stage doesn't just make better musicians, it makes stronger humans. Students who learn to express themselves on stage become more confident in school, more confident in their friendships, more confident in everyday relationships, and more confident to try new things. And like our mission statement says, have a lifelong learning in all aspects of their lives. So in closing, this fourth step of our transformation pathway, helping students to grow on stage, taking them from fearful to confident performers, we really do believe will help our students, young and old, to share their voice with the world and give them legs for a life filled with learning opportunities and a desire to do just that.